Hi, I tried to film a video like this, but I'm too insecure. Hello, I'm Kira the Scrivener, and today I'm going to be doing a video on disability. I'm going to be responding to Anna Francesca's video. She is amazing and incredible, and I just wanted to respond as kind of a rebuttal to her disagreement on the word visible and invisible in use of disability. Not because I disagree with anything she says, I just have a very different experience than hers, and I kind of want to bring light to that. So she was upset by the use of invisible to kind of demean and not give as much weight to disabilities, when I think that it actually gives a certain amount of power and clarifying to disability. I do struggle with using the word disability to refer to myself, and I think a lot of that happens to be in my own insecurity because there's a certain view of what people who are disabled look like. Normally they're in a wheelchair or have other physical ways that you can identify them as, and people with that struggle immensely. They struggle with the fact that people often look at them as inferior and things like that. They also have the benefit of people believing them and understanding, although sometimes people over-insert themselves into being helpful in a way that they don't actually ask for consent and they don't actually consider the person with a way that they have a version of agency and a version of autonomy that you have to respect. I kind of have the opposite effect, and that's the things that I struggle with having an invisible disability. The fact that you cannot look at me and see that I have invisibility, that I have invisibility. That I have a disability that is invisible. There you go. And that is because there's nothing physical about me. It's all inside. It is very physical. My body hurts every day a lot. And that is troubling. Because of my pain, I have trouble walking. Because of my pain, I have trouble sitting up. Because of my pain, I have trouble doing daily things like showering or cooking or walking. Walking is a big thing for me because of the pain and weakness I feel every single day. And these are difficult and they're troubling, and yet people don't believe me often because whenever I say something, I'm not sure if I can do that because my health or I won't be feeling up to it, someone pats me on the shoulder and says, "But you're a healthy young thing." I am a young thing maybe, but I'm not healthy. And that's a trouble. It's trouble because people know that I have a disability, because it's awkward, because people always ask me, "How are you?" And I'm always like, I want to be honest because I don't believe lying is a good thing. However, if I was to ask you honestly and be like, "Hey, I haven't been able to get out of bed for the last 4 of the 5 days and I'm in pain and I want groceries, except for going to the store makes me afraid that I'm going to faint." And yes, I've had to cancel plans on every single person, and losing friends is really hard because I don't feel like asking people for help because I was told that independence is really important and that you need to work hard and pull up your bootstraps, and that's what I had to do. And maybe I'm not in college because college is too hard, and maybe I'm not working because I can't get out of bed, and that makes me feel lazy because of all of these things, and working and grieving the parts of your life that you aren't going to happen because you're not going to get better because it's an incurable disease. And then there's also the fact of, how do you say that to someone who also knows that, but like is still asking you how you are? And I know it's a polite thing in life, but like, and I'm like, "Okay," and then they're like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Do you want me to give you the feel of spiel? Because I don't really want to feel whiny today." Or they're like, "You feel better," and I'm like, did I mention where I said it's incurable? So do I make a smart joke, or do I just nod and go together? Because like, again, I feel like being honest is an important thing of my life, and I don't want to be just like, "Yeah, okay, I'm smiling. Yes, I smile and stand when I'm around people because writhing on the pain is not useful." Like, there are many times when I'm like sitting there and like, "Okay, my back is spasming right now. I am in extreme pain. Hold up, Kira. You can do it. You can do it. Please don't collapse this moment," because collapsing would not be very publicly good. Like, I'm just like, or I can just like lay on the floor. No, you can't do that because people don't really know you, and that would be weird. And these are the things that like I cross my brain a lot. I'm holding a thing. Yep. So these are the things like I don't know how to explain them without sounding whiny. So like, I know people know that I have a disability, but they don't understand what it really means. A good example was this: on Saturday I went on a walk. It was to raise awareness and money for to fight human trafficking and sex trafficking around the world. It's something I'm very passionate about it. So I was going to go, but I couldn't walk it. So I used a wheelchair. And I got those responses of like, my friends were like, "Hey, you showed up like in a wheelchair." Like, I was like, "Well, I can't do it." And they're like, "Yeah, but I just thought you wouldn't come." And I could have, but I like, again, didn't say the response of being like So you realize what you're actually saying with that comment. You're saying that because I'm not able-bodied enough, I shouldn't actually participate in events and raise awareness for things because I'm not able to, but if using an accommodation, so I'm too disabled to walk something, but I'm not disabled enough to actually use a wheelchair without like kind of being questioned, because I don't use a wheelchair every day. Literally, I was using a wheelchair and I was like, man, I wish I used this every day. I can try to use metaphors and all of these huge things to make people try to understand so they don't just dismiss me, because I've been called a hypochondriac a lot of times. And I just feel like I'm lazy all the time because, yes, I'm bedridden more times than I am up doing stuff. And on a society that really, really values busyness, what you're doing, achievement, I am like a hugely spirited, hugely passionate, driven human who has to let go of those things and realize that I am not able to do that. And thankfully for me, like, I have a really strong faith that helps me through that and realizes that like who I am is not necessarily the end and be all of everything in life. And I have to grieve the fact that I'm not going to be able to do all of the things that I wanted to do with my life. But why do I like invisible in that term? Because it says and it talks to the unique struggles of my disability. It speaks to the fact that people may know but may never understand what it's like to go through me. They will never necessarily give me the benefit of the doubt that I am in need. People don't ask me. I had a friend that I was talking to today that said, like, you are a motherly person. Like, I never think of you as someone who needs help. And I go, yeah, of course, because I want to help you. And I do want to help you. Like, I, went to school for counseling. I'm a very motherly person. I am the person that wants to help other people. And more often than not, I'm in need of other people's help. And yet pride and also independence steps in that way. And sometimes there's just a cry in my heart that says, can people not notice that I really, really need help all the time and that I'm struggling to get by because I live with these things that make life challenging? And I will probably struggle largely in the shadows without people really recognizing the pain that I go through every day. And that's why I like the word invisible. I like the fact that it speaks uniquely to the challenges of my disability. Don't tell me I hope you're better in the comments. It won't make me feel any better. It'll make me kind of want to punch you and sit there and be like, how do I respond to this tactfully? Because, yeah, I'm not going to be better. It's incurable. So, happy reading, writing. I will see you soon.